Welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. I am Dutch and this is Dutch Diecast Restoration on the channel of Dutch Says It All. Today we're going to restore a Chevrolet Corvette 1959 C1 model. Now those who watched my first two videos were expecting me to restore a Porsche Carrera number 6 by Corky. Unfortunately, the project got stalled because I ordered a donor car in America. However, this car got lost in the mail and I never received it. I needed this one specifically for the yellow back window, and unfortunately I cannot start my new project yet. I don't want to reveal anything about it right now, but I definitely will explain to you later. The fact that I received over 10,000 views on my first video motivated me to immediately think about my next project. And if the Porsche thing is not going to go, I will do another one. And that's what you will see today. And I remembered that I had this small Corvette lying around somewhere that was handed to me by a friend years ago. He told me he found it and he knew I liked Corvettes. I had no idea what the project would be like, but in my book with Corvettes I had a similar model and it absolutely looked fantastic. So I thought, if I can kind of assemble that idea, that would be a great thing to do. And that's why I started this new project. Now those who saw my first two videos know I am absolutely a beginner and I'm in the learning process. But by all the responses I received, I got so many ideas, and I definitely had a big shopping list, and through this film you will see that I definitely listened to that and acquired myself quite some new tools. I also learned from my mistakes. A couple of things totally didn't work out the way I expected, and I made some adaptations. One of the things I did, for instance, was these little clamps, these cardboard clamps I use on my thighs. I put some magnets on the inside so it didn't keep falling away. You see, nice little handy magnets. I can move them and I can put my little toy right in there. So without further explaining, let's see if this works, and let's get this Dinky apart, drilling out the little rivets, the mushrooms, which worked a lot better since I also bought myself a set of new and sharp drills. After drilling off the mushrooms, I also put immediately some very small little holes for the future screws. The first steps of taking the chassis away from the body worked out pretty good, and I was ready to take all apart. The inside looked very clean. There was a lot of plastic, and although this is an old car, it is basically a late production, I think in the 90s. And I found out that the plastic interior also had some kind of mushrooms that I needed to drill out. It was definitely a case of finding the right balance between drilling too much and not enough, but finally the thing came apart. And it's remarkable how many parts were actually put together in the same way. I was surprised to see how many of these same rivets, mushroom things were inside, and so we needed to drill a little bit more and try to carefully get them out. Outside the car was kind of dirty and had some mud and sand and scratches and some serious paint damage, but inside, as I said, it was pretty clean and there were no serious issues. So based on these preliminary findings, I would say this is going to be a fairly easy and simple restoration without many hiccups. So let's see what kind of items we have and what we have to deal with. I must say I was kind of surprised by the large amount of individual items I found on this Corvette. So I couldn't wait to go to my favorite part of the job, stripping off the old paint. I'm using my trustworthy good old paint stripper, which I used in my previous projects and which I believe do really fine. As you see, even speed up it goes very quick, it does a good job. I decided to leave the chassis as it is because it hardly had any damage and I could easily paint over it. I also noticed that the roof came loose and I could paint that without having it attached to the glass, which made it very easy. A little bit of sanding with 000 wire wool, or steel wool as we call it, and tried to clean it as much as I could. From my previous project I learned that this is the moment you have to go into details, and I wanted to get everything really sharp and clean so that everything looks fantastic after painting. And I must say that contrary to colleague restorers who deal with older models, there were very few casting problems in this model. I believe this one is made in China anyway. Having said that, it's remarkable to see how the details are. They're very realistic and very nice to work with. So after using all my little dental tools and getting all the little paint remains out, the car looks clean and it's ready to get its primer. I am very excited to see how that is going to work. Now after cleaning the car and degreasing it, I wanted to deal with the tires. And I bought these adding paint pens, and I wanted to do a better job. You had to shake it good. It's called shaking all over, but it looked more like shaking all over the place. They didn't quite do what I expected it to do, but in the end I was willing to try it out and do a better job than I did on my previous project. I wanted to create the beautiful white wall tires, not just a stripe, but a real white wall. And I must say it took me quite a while to get it right, but I think I did a much better job, and the paint helped me in the end, but it wasn't an easy one, I must honestly admit. And it took me a lot longer than this video may let you believe. But I'm a sucker for detail and I wanted to get it right, and in the end you will see it worked out fine. And from the same company I bought a red paint pen, and I wanted to use that to do the little red insert line that you see on the pictures of the original, and I wanted to make sure that we got that right, and this went a lot easier. The paint worked much better and had a good coat. Although it took me a while, it was kind of pleasant to do this job. Now, having said that, although the pen says red, the color is more pink than red. It's not a deep red. It looks like it's mixed with white. But all in all, it turned out really good. It looked beautiful. The chrome wheel, the little red line, the white wall and the black tire. I was very happy with the result. So after this I needed to deal with the interior. First I wanted to paint the dashboard white, and then I wanted to have the seats, as you can see already. I tried one, made a dual color. I liked the white leather inserts in the seats, so that worked out pretty good with the white pen. And later I made it far more detailed. After that it was time for some chrome paint. Based on recommendations from many of my viewers, I acquired some of this Molotov chrome paint pens and started to practice with it. And those I was going to use inside. I bought a 1mm and a 2mm, and I was going to use that inside, make some little trimming, and then I was going to see if I could do a little bit covering on the top of the seats, which you see in the original paint, in the original model. It goes over the top of the seat, and well, we're going to see if that is going to work out. And having the roof of the glass insert, the windows, I was able to get good view on the rims, on whatever you call it, the trimming of the chrome on the windows, and I was going to use the Molotov silver chrome with that. I tried to work with that. It wasn't easy. It sometimes came out of a blob, and here I'm going to try to do the insert, and here you see the result. It turned out actually pretty good. I was happy with it, and it looked beautiful. It may look a little messy from a distance, but I can tell you in the end this is very small scale. As you can see, I've been shopping around, and here is the result. I've got quite a lot of paints, and that definitely reveals the fact that I will be airbrushing later as part of the recommendations from the many viewers that I've received. But first of all, here is the Tamiya paint primer that I will be using, and I will explain that in a second. In order to prepare for the spray painting, I'm going to glue some screws to the basic parts that I want to paint. This is a technique I saw on videos from Marty's Matchbox makeovers, and I thought it was a great hint. Contrary to him, I'm not using the epoxy glue. I will just use hot glue, which worked out fine for me. But thanks, Marty. You're doing a great job. I love your videos. I've probably seen all of them. It's instructive videos like yours that first of all motivated me to start all of this, and second of all, it is so much fun to look at it. Again, thank you, mate. Good work. So before I use this standard off-the-shelf spray paint, it's a primer. It's a all-purpose primer, but people told me better use the fine primer from Tamiya because it leaves better details and has less of a filler. I will do that, and here is my good old spray box that I've been using for over 20 years, and I can tell you I don't use any suction systems because I don't believe in too much particles moving around, and suction systems do attract things coming in. I don't know what is better, but for me it works fine, and I'm ready to give this thing a good primer. What I normally do is I put the paint and the objects to be painted in this box for about 10 minutes so that the paint can warm up and the objects can warm up to have a better adhesion and quicker dry. Some people put their paint in the hot water. This is the way I do it. I warm everything up and then I paint. And you see a lot of stuff flying around, but it isn't as bad as it looks in this video. I paint quick, and it dries extremely fast and covers extremely good. So in my first project I used spray cans, but I was highly recommended to start using an airbrush. So I wanted to see what was possible, and I bought myself a compressor, actually in a package with some airbrushes, and it was a pretty good deal. I had done a little bit of research on the internet and looked what other diecast restorers were recommending. I saw a special review by Time Rider about I would say similar machine, and that helped me to make the decision to purchase this one. I left the link in my site here two-time writer for that particular review, so he can talk about it much more eloquent than I can. This way I do not have to go into in-depth detail on all the features the thing has. It is pretty complete, and I recommend you looking at other sites to see the perfect description. Anyway, I need to go and work on my project now, so let's go and paint this car. Now, I would have loved to show you my first attempt to spraying my car parts using my airbrush for the very first time. But unfortunately, in all my excitement, I didn't realize that the battery of my camera was dead, and as the first spray worked so good, there was no reason for me to redo it. So what you see here is basically airbrush lip syncing. This is how I moved myself, but actually the paint is already on there. I did find it very easy to work with. The compressor did a very good job. I used 2 psi as the pressure and the standard needle, and all in all the mixing, everything were good. I put a little bit thinner in it, although it was ready-made paint, and well, here is the result. Well, my first impressions about the results are very good. I totally agree with everybody that told me spray cans are not providing the result that you can do with an airbrush. The details show fantastic, the coverage is good. I am absolutely over the moon, and I cannot wait to continue the project. What I need to do now is tape off using my new Tamiya masking tape, so I can put little white parts on the side of the body. That's going to be a little bit of an exercise. You see, everything looks beautiful, so let's see how that works out. It's going to be a little bit tedious, so what I will do is I will speed that up, and come with me and see how I do this. Why is the paint coming off? Why? I used primer, I sanded, I cleaned, and the paint is just flaking off. What a sh... What a sh... I'm not gonna let this car fly, but I just do not understand this. Somebody can tell me what I did wrong. I used the Tamiya special tape. Crap. What did I do wrong for the paint to just flake off like that? Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna solve the problem. Have to do something over. Okay, we'll be back. So what we did is we removed the old paint, we cleaned, sanded, primed again, put the red paint on, And as I'm now busy putting the varnish on, which basically was my mistake, I put the tape on the base coat, and I have a feeling that with the varnish on it will work better. So learned from my mistake, I this time put the clear varnish on, then I let the total project dry longer, and with a little bit better masking, the result is absolutely beautiful. And no paint came off. It was very easy to take the Tamiya tape off. I did warm it up a little bit so it was more flexible. So now it's time to get the chrome trimming around the white area, and for that I will use my Molotov chrome pen. I have to see how I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do it loose hand, for simple reason that many people advise me to just use a little bit of masking. I've practiced a little bit with the chrome pen, so I know what to expect, and after doing the little trim, I can do the other issues like the doorknobs, emblems. So let's shake this thing and see how that works out. So it took me a while to get the tape on, but it's on. Everything is kind of masked, and now I'm going to see if I can make those fine lines with the 1mm Molotov chrome pen. Let's see. Now, even with the masking, it looks a little bit messy, but let's see if that worked. I'm carefully taking the masking off. I feel a little bit more confident now. That actually looks pretty good. That is more or less what I was hoping for. Nice and fine line. So now we can go on for the next part of the painting. We need to get the little details on there, and that'll take me a while, so I speeded this up. Don't need further explanation. So after the chrome painting, I decided to give the whole body another couple of layers of clear varnish, which looks absolutely beautiful. But I must say there is one little issue, and that means I may have to use a little bit more chrome, as the acrylic paint has dulled the chrome around the lamps in the back, and also I noticed that the doorknobs don't have that shine, but I can easily touch that up. For the rest, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Actually, I don't mind having to do the little extra chrome, because I noticed that I forgot the little keyhole, and inside the rear lights should be chrome too, as I follow the original picture of the original car. And then the two little inlet scoops need to have some chrome, which I will add later. You can't see that right now, but I also put the front emblem on, and I put some orange for the indicator lights. So we're basically ready now to put the car together. So as this is going to be a long video anyway, let's quickly go over what we did. This is the back bumper, and I put the orange indicator lights on there, and I leave the original license plate as it is. Then we have the glass and the roof. The glass looks actually very nice. The chrome worked out great. I didn't overspray that, so that was fine. But I had a problem with the roof. As I did not overpaint that like I did the rest of the body, I used a different primer and the top was more bright. So I probably have to overpaint that to get the same color as the body. I repaired a broken part of the front bumper, which came loose when I took the car apart. I glued it, I painted it with the chrome pan, works fine, and I'm gonna leave the original license plate as it is. So, and that looks pretty good. Then the underside of the car, the chassis, it looks clean, it's nice. I'm not gonna paint all the details in there. Maybe in a later stage I decide to do that, but for the moment I leave it as such. More important are the wheels. The white walls look absolutely fantastic. The red liner inside is good. The knockoff things that they call it for the wheels are a little bit darker, so that gives a good contrast. It rolls fine, so I'm gonna leave that as is. Here is my interior to satisfy all my critics that found my black on black creation with my previous Corvette too dark. I could not put more color in this one than I could think of. So I painted the seats, I have the double colors, I have the chrome rims, the shift gear is done. So, you know, all in all, looks pretty nice. I put the two little latches for the release of the hardtop, and on the doors I put some chrome trim and the white that continues from the dashboard. And then the dashboard itself with the steering wheel and the steering column. The steering column is white, the steering wheel itself is red. The spokes are chrome, and inside I tried to make sort of an emblem that you see. And I added a little mirror. I could not resist. The car has a very pronounced mirror in real, so I created a little mirror, painted it chrome, and from the outside to inside looks pretty good. So that kind of concludes all the work I did, and now let's see what the whole thing looks put together, if it was worth all the effort. But first of all, let's not forget what we all started out with earlier this week. I will not pretend to have reached perfection yet, but the improvement is significant. And I can only say thank you to all the viewers and responders that gave me ideas and help and hints and suggestions for items to buy. I did a little bit of an investment to get this project up and running, but I feel I approached the real thing as much as I could, and it definitely is a really nice car to look at, and I hope that other people find motivation in starting projects like that, because this is only my second car I did, and although I see some things that I want to improve on this car, I'll leave it for what it is for the time being, and I'm going to enjoy it sitting around here for a while. So guys, if you want to see what my next project with the Porsche is going to be, subscribe and see if you can join me again. Oh yeah, and don't hesitate to send me more hints or suggestions how to improve my job. Thank you. Now look at the difference of scale of my hobby project restoration and my professional day-to-day restoration. So combining my restoration hobby, my film editing hobby and my green screen technology, I was able to create my dream car sitting in front of our house. Isn't it fabulous? Thank you for watching. and hope to see you for the next vid. Bye bye.